As we gather to give thanks with our families and friends at this time of year, we should reflect that not all families will be able to be together, and that millions of families have been torn apart by our broken immigration policies. As we give thanks, we cannot forget about the millions of aspiring Americans who continue to live in the shadow of our great nation and the need to enact policies to unite them. As the son of an immigrant, I can tell you that their story, my story, your story, our story, is the story of America, the story of hardworking families coming to the United States to create a brighter future for their kids. It is a story rooted in family and fueled by hope. It is a story that continues to this day in families all across our country. Today, we have 11 million people in this nation who are undocumented, 99% of whom came to this country to improve their lives, to escape oppression, to flee desperate poverty and violence. I supported the 2013 Comprehensive Immigration Reform Bill in the Senate because I strongly believe there should be a responsible path to citizenship so that individuals can come out of the shadows, can hold their heads high, and have the protection of the law, and participate fully and openly in American society. The Senate bill contained the provisions of the DREAM Act that I strongly support. It is my belief that we should recognize that the young men and women who comprise the Dreamers for what they are, American kids who deserve the right to be in the country they know as their home. This is not to say that I do not have significant criticisms of this long and complicated bill. I believe that arbitrary cutoff eligibility dates, border security triggers, and other obstacles were measures that many believe were put in place so that the path to legalization and citizenship would be delayed or even denied for millions of undocumented individuals here. I want to change those provisions, and if elected president, I will do everything I can to change those provisions. I also believe that the penalties and fines in the bill would be a bar for the lowest income people, essentially preventing them from accessing the path to legal residency and eventual citizenship. To be meaningful, a pathway to citizenship needs to be achievable for the millions of workers at the lower end of the economic ladder. These and other barriers in the bill, including the years, often more than a decade, that it would take to achieve citizenship, makes it a flawed piece of legislation that needs to be improved. Until we can pass comprehensive immigration reform, we must be aggressive in pursuing policies that are humane and sensible and that keep families together. This includes taking immediate measures that are currently available, including using the presidential power of executive order. I think President Obama did exactly the right thing through his executive orders to unite families. DACA and DAPA were good first steps, but much more needs to be done. Let me tell you what I will do as president. First, within my first 100 days in office, I will expand upon President Obama's executive actions to provide broad administrative relief to the parents of Dreamers, the parents of citizens, the parents of legal permanent residents, and the rest of the immigrant population who would have been legalized if the House of Representatives had only taken a vote on immigration reform. I will expand the use of humanitarian parole to ensure the return of unjustly deported immigrants, including our veterans. The United States must do the right thing and guarantee the swiftest possible reunification of these broken families. I will overhaul our immigrant detention system. To reduce this number, I will direct immigration officers to immediately stop initiating deportations against those eligible for relief. I will also end family detentions. We will no longer be a nation that has children being raised in private, for-profit prisons. My administration will end contracts with private, for-profit immigration detention centers. I will work to end federal programs that provide financial incentives to arrest and detain immigrants for routine traffic or other infractions. This would include enhancing access to justice, proper legal counsel, and reversing the criminalization of immigration. In my view, we should not deny a path to citizenship to an undocumented parent, for re-entering the country after being separated from their children or for not having a driver's license. I will direct my administration to extend humane treatment and asylum to victims of domestic violence and unaccompanied minors coming from Latin America as a distinct group of people fleeing persecution. I will also expand asylum programs for members of the LGBT community escaping mistreatment and abuse. America has always been a haven for the oppressed. We must not shirk the historic role of the United States as a protector of vulnerable people fleeing persecution. In addition, let's not just demand immigrant integration. Let's unite to make it happen. Our job right now is to bring our people together, to end the divisions between black and white, native-born, immigrants, gays, straights, men and women. And when we stand together as a people, when we fight for economic justice, when we fight for social justice, when we fight to take on the fossil fuel industry and combat climate change, when we stand together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Thank you all very much for the work that you do, and I look forward to working with you in the months and years ahead. Thanks.